Hi, this is attorney Nicole Christie from the Christie Law Firm, and I wanted to share with you what happens when a child has been adopted. And so I wanted to answer some questions that I often get from potential clients about a past adoption or a past TPR, or a termination of parental rights. That's what TPR stands for. The tough part about a termination of parental rights is that it's not reversible. There is no way to undo that unless there was some serious legality that actually happened and impacted your rights. And it has to be extremely serious, that there was some kind of fraud that happened. And it's not like TV where there was some kind of secret adoption that happens and the parent didn't know. The termination of parental rights has to happen prior to the court actually going forward with an adoption. And so it's very important to pay attention to court dates, pay attention to anything that's happening in court. If you don't understand the meaning, make sure you take the time to ask your attorney. If you don't think your attorney is helping, ask the court. We as attorneys here at the Christie Law Firm, we answer all the questions, and we try to make sure you don't even get to a TPR, but we do our best to explain every stage possible to you. And so make sure that you understand what's happening, because if a termination happens, you can't go back. Now, there are some rare occasions where if the adoption falls through, sometimes the actual parent, they'll transfer guardianship to the actual parent, but those are such rare occasions. Normally, what happens after a termination is that child gets adopted, and they'll get adopted by either a relative or a foster parent, or however they find the adoptive parent. And once that happens, there's no undoing that. Sometimes, in certain situations, a potential adoptive parent may agree to what they call an open adoption. And that isn't where you come and take the child anytime you want to. It's really sometimes maybe seeing the child 4 times a year or a couple times a year, or being able to send the child cards, or just allowing the child to know you existed and that if they want to, they can get access to you. But it's very limited, and it's usually done by an agreement, and it is enforceable by law. However, it's probably going to be set up in such a way that it's more advantageous to the adoptive parent than necessarily to the parent. It's really a way of trying to get to some level of a compromise, because a lot of parents don't want to agree to a termination of parental rights with the knowledge that they'll never see their child again. So sometimes there are agreements that can be made so that you can see the child. But the most important thing that I want you to get from this is the TPR, the termination, is not reversible. And so if you ever get to that state and maybe years down the line you're thinking, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done this, I regret this, I want to see my child, I want to have connection, it's not possible to always undo that. And it's not always possible to have that kind of contact until that child gets old enough to say, hey, I want to go find my mom. And sometimes that's possible. So keep those things in mind. If I can encourage you to do anything, it's whenever you go to court, make sure you know what's going on. Here at the Christie Law Firm, as attorneys, we call our clients before court. We actually call our clients right after court if it's all possible. Most of the time we try to make that possible, just to answer questions. Sometimes we lawyers get into our legal terms and we call it legalese, and as the client, you're not sure what are they talking about. We do our best to make sure we explain that to you. And so that is the job of every attorney, is to explain the process to you so that you can understand and you can make the best decisions and you can make informed decisions. So until next time, please check out our other videos about DCF and child protection and the court. We are here to try to help families, whether you hire us or not. This information is for you so that you can be informed, so you can make the best decisions for you and your family. Until next time.